So, ladies and gentlemen, it's really a great pleasure of being here. The CIBP Congress and all the people I met during the last 2 days, it feels like a big Indian wedding. It seems there are a lot of people. You don't know everybody, but you know they're part of a family. So I'm really pleased to be here. My name is Tariq Noori. I'm head of strategy and sustainability at DZ Bank. And I work for DZ Bank, which is the second biggest bank in Germany, with about 25,000 employees, if you count the subsidiaries as well. Today, I would like to talk to you about sustainability and what actually is happening in Germany regarding transformation. So what I brought you is a picture of how the temperature is rising in Germany, in France, in Brazil, and in the USA. This chart shows the time frame of about 100 to 150 years, and it shows that we have some kind of a problem. Global leaders around the world and countries can make a decision if they want to fight against this temperature rising or not. Some countries are fighting against it with net zero targets. So if I want to speak about my country we live in, Germany, the government has announced net zero targets until 2045, which means that we really are going to a big transformation currently. We need to reduce the emissions by more than 60 to 70%. And that means that a lot of people have to change, industry has to change, and also banking has to change. What I brought to you is a snapshot of the automotive sector in Germany. And we Germans, we like our cars, right? It's a very emotional topic. If you take a look at the right side of the slide, you will see that currently about 48 million cars are registered in Germany, but there's only a slight amount of cars with electric motors. If we want to change and become net zero until 2045, the petrol cars you see now in the gray colors have to go away. And by 2030, we need to have 15 million electrical cars. And by 2045, about 40 million. This means there's a big transition going on. You will need a lot of money. We heard the colleague of Mini, which was saying that they will not produce petrol cars anymore until 2030. And there's also the step where a bank comes in. We need to actually discuss and think about what kind of products and financing we can offer to actually support this transformation. So what do we do at DZ Bank? What I brought you is 6 instruments we are currently working on, and some of them we've already implemented. These are the instruments we are implemented already. Let me start from commitment and exclusions. That's the starting point. You really need to think about what kind of financing activities do you want to have into your bank book. ESG ratings. This is really important, so the rating agencies value you as a company and tell to the market and the external clients that you are on a good path towards sustainability. SDG profile. So you want to find out what kind of negative and positive impacts you have regarding the Sustainable Development Goals. CO2 accounting. We've implemented a tool within the company to calculate all CO2 emissions of financing activities. ESG risk scorecard, you need to know what kind of physical and transformational risk your financing activities have. And last but not least, the most important is your sustainability report, in which you actually put in all of your topics which you are working on and show it to the market. This is really, really important. I won't go too much into the detail of this process. What I want to tell you is the instruments I just showed you right now are now, since October, implemented in the DZ Bank automatically, semi-automatically, for our sales guys. So they have a cockpit where they can actually ask questions and see what kind of results regarding sustainability come out if you have a financing activity. And now, Teddy, I think I'm a little bit fast, but I think it's okay.
Oh, no, you've got another 8 minutes.
Okay, I've got another 8 minutes. I just need 2 more.
That's fine, that's cool. Yeah. I'll ask you some questions then.
So, in the end, there may be 2 or 3 topics I would like to tell you. First, transparency is key, but ambitious targets is really important. You don't know if you will reach them, but if you don't have ambitious targets, you will not start working on them. Second, we as cooperative banks are key in this kind of transformation. Small and medium companies need our help. And third, you need really good instruments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Why not hold there a moment? I do have a couple of questions, and also I would like to open for questions as well, if anyone has for Tariq. One I'm interested is seeing the really interesting synergy going on here between what we saw earlier from Mini and from what you said as well, about this shift in Germany towards electrification. And Germany is certainly one of the most advanced countries in the world when we talk about a large economy where there is a very rapid shift going on towards electrification. But the question I just have is, what evidence are you seeing that maybe that has been slightly derailed by what happened with Russia's invasion of Ukraine? Because, of course, Germany was receiving something like 90% of its gas from Russia. That was almost totally cut off. There was a huge shift made towards liquefied natural gas coming in from the Middle East, which has a huge carbon footprint. So overall, how do you see that switch occurring? Do you think that has put back, in some ways, the efforts to decarbonize the economy?
So at the beginning of the war, we were not sure if sustainability will prevail and is important as an important topic within banking. We had discussions about how to finance weapons, for example. Is it now possible to finance weapons if you want to secure your country, right? People have understood that we need to change the way of thinking regarding energy. A lot of energy prices are gone really up in Germany. Industry is struggling. But I think it's part of the change, and we're coping to the situation.
I find it remarkable, actually, particularly if you look at the differences between the way, let's say, the German automotive industry is going versus the Italian. If you think of things like supercars as well, if you think BMW, just like Mini as well, they're going to be fully carbon neutral by either 2030 or 2035. Lamborghini hasn't even started yet. They want the Italian government to stop this move to electrification, but they're going to need to at some point. So I think this is the other thing I'd like to understand as well. On this issue of sustainability, there seems to be a very strong alignment here going on between the values of DZ Bank, the people of Germany, and the government as well. How does that alignment work?
I mean, in my opinion, sustainability is a business about values and trust. I think that's also a reason why we are talking about it as cooperative banks. I'm also talking to the government on sustainability topics. I mean, the issue is that we need to change. I showed you the timeline to net zero. We, for example, don't have that good of an infrastructure regarding electric cars in Germany right now. On the other hand, you really need to see if people can handle the price, the pressure, and it's not an easy context, right? But what we are doing is thinking about products like ESG-linked loans, where you have to pay a little bit less interest rate if you achieve your goals. And I think that's the step ahead. Think about really intelligent products to support the country and the industry.
And I think actually on this issue, that's something I wanted to ask about as well. Because you are so close to your clients in the cooperative movement, what kind of help have you been able to offer, or what kind of products that can help address this whole cost of living crisis? Because it affects individuals, it affects small and medium enterprises, even big businesses as well. Everyone is kind of feeling it. How have you been able to address that?
So maybe one example, we've got a big discussion in Germany about renovating old houses, old apartments. So we've got a subsidiary company which is thinking about, or already has a product. So if you're a 70-year-old lady, you actually can't afford to renovate your apartment, although the government probably will tell you at some point to renovate it. We've established a product which will help you get a financing if your family members are willing to help. Mm-hmm. So we think more or less in the cooperative idea of the community as well, but it's not easy.
No, absolutely not. And of course, there's no magic wand you can wave as well. Maybe one ultimate question from you, and maybe this is your own opinion or the opinion of the bank, but to come back something we've been discussing really throughout this whole Congress, where do you think you can find this balance between creating value, monetary value, shareholder value, and social value and value for your customers? How do you find that balance? Because DZ Bank wouldn't remain in business still if it didn't know how to make money.
So sustainability is not just a regulatory topic. And I think this is really important that a bank in a change process understands it. And that means that the sales guys from the corporate department, from the corporate banking department understand that they have to get information about the transformation in the sector they're working in and help the small and medium companies and the cooperative regional banks to understand that we can help them with financing activities, because there will be a shift of volume towards sustainable financing.
Absolutely. I mean, the truth is, I think everything is going to become sustainable in different degrees going forward. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Tariq Noori from DZ Bank.